Hey everyone, this is C Crypto Daily Buzz. Today is March 25th, 2026. This channel summarizes the most important crypto news for investors in Southeast Asia, including traders and long-term holders in the Philippines, Vietnam, Indonesia, Thailand, and OFW communities using crypto and remittance every day. Let's go through 3 key stories you should pay attention to in today's market. Bitcoin and Ethereum are digesting last week's Federal Reserve meeting, which signaled higher for longer rates while reshaping ETF flows between BTC and ETH. According to market analysis, the Fed held its benchmark rate at 3.5 to 3.75% and updated its dot plot to point to just one 25 basis point cut for the rest of 2026, citing persistent inflation and elevated energy prices, which triggered about a 5% drop in Bitcoin and a one-day spot BTC ETF outflow of roughly $708 million. While BTC pulled back toward the $70,000 support, Ether outperformed with an 8-day gain of around 20%, supported by the launch of BlackRock's iShares staked Ethereum Trust, which lets institutions capture up to a 3% staking yield on top of price exposure, and has already driven record weekly inflows into ETH ETF products. For investors in Southeast Asia, including traders in the Philippines and Vietnam, my view is that this environment favors assets that combine yield and liquidity. BTC still sets the macro tone, but ETH and other yield-bearing plays may attract more steady ETF interest while rates stay high. It is a good time to be honest about your time horizon and avoid over-leveraging into every post-FOMC spike or dip. Regulators are quietly opening the door to a bigger Bitcoin derivatives ecosystem tied to ETFs. A recent rule change in the U.S. options market removed the previous 25,000 contract position limit on certain Bitcoin ETF options, allowing market makers and institutional traders to build larger positions. In parallel, policy reviews from Asia-Pacific show regulators in Japan, South Korea, Hong Kong, and Australia moving towards more explicit oversight of crypto derivatives and stablecoins. As part of a 2026 stress test that aims to distinguish between institutions ready for large-scale participation and platforms that were built mainly for regulatory arbitrage. For Southeast Asia investors in markets like Singapore, the Philippines, and Indonesia, I think this means that Bitcoin's volatility is increasingly being shaped by professional options and futures flows. That creates both opportunities and risks. Price swings around macro events can be sharper, but there is also more transparency in listed markets compared with unregulated perpetual swaps. On the risk side, new crime data shows that scams, not protocol hacks, remain the dominant threat to everyday crypto users. TRM Labs' 2026 crime review highlights that illicit flows still come from romance-style pig butchering schemes, fake investment platforms, and address poisoning scams. Investigators note that many of these operations are run out of Southeast Asia using deepfake identities, spoofed customer support accounts, and fake verification pop-ups to harvest private keys. For traders and OFW communities in the Philippines, Vietnam, and Indonesia, my takeaway is that your biggest risk is still who you trust, not just which protocol you use. Any unsolicited message that asks you to verify your wallet or move funds for security checks should be treated as a likely scam unless you independently confirm it via official channels. One FOMC holds rates high as BTC tests 70K and ETH ETFs gain on staking yield. 2SEX lifts position caps, expanding Bitcoin ETF options, while Asia eyes derivatives oversight. 3/2026, crime data shows scams and social engineering still outpace hacks in targeting retail and C users. This video is for information and education only and is not financial advice. All investment decisions and risks are your own responsibility. If this video was helpful, please subscribe, hit the like button, and turn on the notification bell. For real-time alerts and trading signals, join our Telegram channel, link in the description. See you in the next one.